Well, Moses, the Border Kings were back in action over the weekend.
Yeah, you know what? It didn't seem that long ago that we had the Allen Cup here. Of course, the heartbreak for the Border Kings. Couldn't quite make it, but a lot of changes. Of course, a lot of players left due to, life circumstances and just retiring from the game. And there were also others. Well, the other big news, they left the Chinook Hockey League. A big dispute between them and the Saskatchewan Hockey in itself. So they moved and began their new life in the Sask West Hockey League, and they hosted the Kerrobert Tigers. So we'll pick it up in the second period. The Border Kings leading 3-0. Going to be Brad Cruikshank. He rips a slapper. Shane Marsh just gets a piece of it. Then moments later, Stevie Jean from the spot as Cruikshank scores. Border Kings up 4-0 halfway through the game. So 5 minutes later, Devin Saripa will dish to Curtis Wandler. And you know what? He makes it 5-0. So the Tigers will come close to breaking the shutout. 2 cracks at it in tight, but no dice. So back the other way, Border Kings with a glorious opportunity as time expires in the second. So we'll move to the third, and the Kings will streak down the wing. They'll have 2 guys in with room. In front, Ryan Cosgrove will snipe it to make it 6-0, less than a minute in. Then a minute after that, it'd be Jordy Duggan and Brad Cruikshank who would work the give and go. The Border Kings win, well, by a lot. Final score, 10-0 the final. So a good way to start in the Sask West Hockey League. Let's move on to more hockey. The Baker Hughes Bobcats were at home taking on the Calgary Flames midget Triple A's. The Bobcats were hoping to ignite their stagnant offense while shutting down one of the league's best. So the Bobcats would lead 1-0 after the first period on a goal by Bryce Woodward. Connor James would nearly add another, but the puck just hangs around in the Flames crease. Third period, Flames will be called on a penalty, which will lead to this. And you see Newcap's own Clayton Brown reffing this game. Cats get to work. Connor James' shot goes through. This time, the home team would lead 2-0 3 minutes into the third. So Calgary would go on the attack. Shot from the point is blocked. Flames forward recovers. He spins, fires off a Bobcat skate, but can't beat Josh Bukowski. With 6 minutes left, Bobcats work a perfect breakout. Steen Pashanuk. He'll avoid the hip check. Then he'll slide a pass to Connor James, who will tee one up and let it fly. He gets his second of the game. It would be 3-0 for the Cats. And just over 3 minutes left, Calgary would pull within a goal. Bobcats would be unable to clear as the Flames come up with a weird tic-tac-toe play. They'll make it 3-1, and you'll see Madison Dunn get the goal, and a little bit over the top with the Selly. Doesn't realize his team is down by 2 goals. They wouldn't score again. The Baker Hughes Bobcats win impressively 3-1. They have now won back-to-back games. Now moving on to the AJHL, the Lloydminster Bobcats woes continued this past weekend. The Cats were in Whitecourt to take on the Wolverines, losing a 1-goal game on Friday. Then, well, just look at that score. The Bobcats lost 12-0. Yikes, not too much to discuss there. Kyle Baumgartner let in all 12 goals as the Bobcats' other goalie, Chase Martin, was suspended for this tilt. Martin and Baumgartner have the 2 worst save percentages in the league. Bobcats have now lost 5 in a row. Wonder if changes will be coming in the foreseeable future. Yesterday, the Bonneville Pontiacs ended their 4-game losing streak, beating Canmore 5-4 in a shootout. Brady Backey with the winner. The Ponts return home to face Fort Mac tomorrow night. To Junior B hockey now, and the Bandits lose 7-6 to the Killam Wheat Kings. It was the second time this season the Bandits have lost to the Wheat Kings, both by the same score. The Bandits slipped to 3rd in the South Division. We'll continue with minor hockey. The Lloydminster Universal Heat lose their first contest of the year on Saturday, then blew a 2-goal lead in the third on Sunday to the Spruce Grove Pack Saints. Mason Shaw and Cole Johnson had a goal and a helper in the cause in the 2-2 tie. The Heat still sit atop of the Charger North standing. The first snowfalls and sub-zero temperatures tend to make a lot of people move into a state of hibernation. But the cold, snowy weather hasn't stopped a dedicated group of local runners. Emmett Murphy has more.
The Split City Sonics Track Club's 35 athletes are busily training for the indoor season.
We go right from sprints and hurdles to throws, distance, every event. Because we're a small club and kids just don't like, going into one event.
The club is a mix of competitive athletes and those looking to enhance their talents. The coaches hope to improve each athlete's results on an individual basis.
I teach them fundamentals as a person. My philosophy as a coach is that I teach the person first, then the athlete shines.
The Sonic staff marked success by seeing their pupils set new personal bests. One athlete whose PBs are among the best in the province is former gymnast Hannah Gisettis.
I like it because it's more relaxed. You have more events that you can choose from, and I like the people. I love visiting with friends always at meets.
Hannah is a natural athlete, succeeding in both gymnastics and track. But it's her time with the Split City Sonics that has been the most valuable.
I have to know when to get up and get ready and make sure I have everything packed and ready for the day's worth. And I have to be focused and everything, so I've learned a lot.
The Sonics practice 3 times a week in Lloydminster. Their first meet is November 24th at the Butterdome in Edmonton. Emmett Murphy, Newcap Sports.
To soccer and the Lakeland Rustlers now. They were in Red Deer this weekend for their first ever ACAC playoffs. They won their first contest, but lost in the semis, setting up a bronze medal match against the Red Deer Kings. The Rustlers would score 3 unanswered goals in this one as ACAC All-Conference player Kyle Benson earned his second clean sheet of the playoffs in a 3-0 win. The Rustlers earned the bronze medal in their inaugural playoff appearance. A great cap to the season for the boys and a great time for Rustler athletics as we speak. Well, that's a first look at sports. Gerard is up next with weather.